Alright, it's go time today. Great night last night. Really nice camp. I was so tired last night from a previous night's drive, not getting any sleep, and I just pretty much crashed out, went fishing for a little bit. But anyway, today's the day. We're about 2 lakes away from getting into the deep woods, and so I should be in there in about probably 30 minutes to an hour, and then it's going to get real sketchy. So we'll see what these trails look like. Unmaintained portages, lots of river and creek travel, water's down, so that could be a real challenge today. So we'll see how many beaver dams are out there, how many pullovers we got to do, how much extra portaging we have to do. So today's mileage wise is going to be pretty short, but from a challenge there's just really no telling what it's going to look like. So anyway, only one way to find out. Welcome to the jungle. But no one's gonna die. It'll be fine. I've been on this trail before. It's about 300 rods, 300 rod portage, about a mile, just shy of a mile. So the real big question is, how rough is it? So last time I went down this about 3 years ago, it was not too bad, but that was 3 years ago. Who knows how many trees have fallen over the trail, yada yada yada. So it should be an adventure. So this is how we're going to start our day. All right, so far so good on this monster portage. Trail's pretty straightforward and easy to see, just a little grown over with some fall downs, lay downs, but it's a long trail to not have clear, so going over quite a bit of wood, try not to fall down, but it's definitely gonna be able to make it looks like so far. It's still early on this one, but anyway. I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be much fun taking that canoe through there. A lot of low-hanging branches and deadfall, but all in all, pretty easy to follow. So that was a mile. Didn't take me too long. Problem is, I'm double portaging today, so I gotta walk all the way back, grab the canoe, and come all the way back. So every single portage I do is 3 trips across. So 3 miles. Yeah, this is what I do for vacation. That was a pretty rough portage as well. Still easy to follow, but yeah, really grown in with willow and sticky on that canoe. But found something kind of interesting here. There's a ton of history in this area. There used to be a bunch of resorts up in Crooked Lake and kind of that area, and so they have snow routes and travel routes. I'm thinking this is a remnant of that, and I didn't see it last time I came through here because I think the water was quite a bit higher. But I found this old dock that is under the water. It's without a doubt a dock. So at some point this used to be a really well used route, but I wonder how long ago that was. But it's pretty cool. Check it out. I'm just waiting to turn the corner and have a big old bull moose staring me in the face. That's probably my biggest concern with this river travel is these moose will walk down these channels too, because it's really the easiest path, and they'll eat, and there's really nowhere for me to go. If he wants to come at me, I'm in trouble. All right, made it to my destination lake. There's one campsite on this lake. It's a really nice site. I've been here. This will be my third time. Just absolutely love this spot. But I'm gonna get set up with camp, and I'm gonna go look for that lost portage. I don't know if it's even feasible. I don't really have any idea. From everything I read, the last people that even attempt it was back in the 80s. So it might not even be discernible. Like, you might not even be able to see it or find any blazes. But I'm gonna go look around and see what I can find. All right, so I tried to go in the original portage spot. It was a no-go. Water's low, and it goes straight into alders and moose muck. So that's not something I'm willing to try to jump into at this point. So I've kind of moved over maybe 100 yards from where the actual portage is, and I'm gonna try to work my way in on land and then kind of edge over. I'll show you what I'm kind of looking at here. Also not going to be easy. Kind of got a steep ledge here, and then more reeds and moose muck to my right, so I have to do a little climbing. So you can see where I'm at right now, just a little bit to the west of where the portage is supposed to be. So I'm kind of trying to veer over that away and catch it, but I got a real strong feeling it's not going to be there anymore. Well, it wasn't a total waste of time so far. Check this find out. Clearly animals use this area. It's a moose antler. It's been there a long time, but all the same, awesome find. Not making it very far here, but moose antler got me a little excited. Just gotta think there's gotta be large animals like moose using trails through here. I know they're moving through here. It's amazing what they can get through. They're so big. I am technically on the trail, or what used to be the trail, right now. So in theory, if I go straight north from here, I could be on it, but I don't think what I've been on so far resembles anything close to a trail. Made it out of there. Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. And even if I had a week to clear that portage, it wasn't gonna happen. I mean, the only way to do this would be to come back in the wintertime or late fall with some serious manpower and a lot of tools to clear a trail through there again. But there's nothing even there worth trying to maintain, unless your only goal was to get to the lake down the way, which would be an awesome spot if you could, because it's a great lake. Fished there many times. Oh, nice walleye. Jeez, looks like the one I lost earlier. Perfect. Oh yeah, look at that. See the blue hue here? A lot of the walleye I've caught in this lake have that blue. It's so cool. Very unique. Another sign that these fish have been here a long time and no other populations really can get in or out of this. And just a beautiful morning this morning. Crisp, fog on the water, hearing all sorts of different animals calling. And so far it's been a really great trip. I'm really glad I came into this primitive management area. It's just a whole different vibe, and I don't know, very much like Quetico if that's what you enjoy. But yeah, I got I'll kind of recap the trip. First day was just traveling in, getting as close to this area as I could. So I didn't do a ton of filming. Second day, you'll see it's a lot of, so the first day, sorry, backtracking, it's about 11 miles. Then the second day, very short day, but really rough. So yesterday was fun, but it didn't take too long to get where I was going. Today is going to be a real adventure because I am looking for another portage. Obviously failed trying to find the portage yesterday. That one doesn't exist anymore. I can confirm that with a fact. This one, from whatever bait I could gather, should still be there. But I haven't found any recent trip reports that showed anybody going through there anytime recently. So it's difficult to find the actual entry into this small stream, and then the portages are very difficult to find, and I can only imagine how grown over they are. So the reward is a beautiful lake similar to this that I've never fished before, never seen with my own eyes, and many people have not seen. So I'm expecting fly-in like fishing, a lot like this lake is, just fantastic walleye and pike. So really excited to get to this lake, but it's going to be a butt kicker. I can already tell. My little creek should be up here somewhere, but as you can see by the shoreline, it's almost it's just a maze. Almost impossible to really see any defined creeks, especially in low water. So this is going to take me a while to figure this out. I put the map away and I'm solely on GPS now from maps I downloaded at home and marked with Google Earth. So I'm hoping it's accurate. Otherwise I'm going to be searching a little bit. I believe that my creek is somewhere back in there. But just look at this. Just a huge, vast marsh. Well, this is where it ended. And I do not see a stream. Alright, so I was able to pull up a second downloaded map with some global imagery on it, and I do think I'm in the wrong spot. I've came back here twice now, and man, I don't know why I didn't pull up imagery earlier. That was dumb, but I think I'm in the right, or I think I know where I'm going. I think I just need to go further down. So hope's not all gone. Yeah, so this has got to be the creek. It's tight, real tight. I can barely get my canoe to make the turns, but it's got to be it. There's actual water, not just reeds. So I was just maybe 20 yards off, and it's just like this tiny little hole. So I don't know. I knew it was going to be hard to find, and from what I read, it was. But I think I'm on the right path now. So let's just see if this water holds up. I just made a major discovery, and it ain't good. Coming back here, pulling over this. Look what my pack just did. The whole bottom ripped out. It's like basically worthless now. And I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I got no easy way out. I got a roll of duct tape. I don't know. That's gonna be extremely difficult to get this stuff out of here. And the bottom of my pack blowing out is a major blow to my trip. Honestly, it's not even that loaded up. Like, I pack light, like one person. Really frustrating, seal line. Dang it, I take good care of that stuff too. I don't drop it. So I've got a second 30-liter pack. And then that one, I won't be able to fit everything in my 30-liter. Man, it's a long way to go. A long way to go with a crappy pack. It won't hold water out anymore either, which is something I'll have to be careful with. Luckily, I pack my sleeping bag and clothes in waterproof bags, but still. Oh, you know what? This is just the stuff that can happen to you out here. And you know, I've never really had a major issue like this before. And when I say major, hey, I'm not injured, I'm fine. I'll make it. But never really had to deal with something like this, and I'm gonna have to really problem solve. There's proof that someone's been through here, but that looks like a really old cut. Fortunately, someone cleared it out of the way so we can make it down this creek here, but I sure hope that wasn't the last time someone's came through here. Getting a little claustrophobic in here again. Should be getting fairly close to the first portage out of this creek, which is going to be a whole nother challenge, but try about that later. All right, I made it to the end of the creek. Oh, I don't see an obvious portage. I would hate to have to walk up the creek. I'm gonna have to scout this out. It's got to be around here somewhere. I got nowhere else to go. All right, so the good news is there appears to be a route here. It's rough, but definitely a route. So got that going for me. All right, I gotta fix this bag. All right, so this is what I'm working with. This bag's got about a 12-inch hole right in the bottom. You can see all my stuff. See if we can find my duct tape while I'm in here. But it's wide open, man. It's gonna rip out if I keep carrying. So I'm kind of thinking I have two options here. I can take some of these little straps and take them underneath here, find something to hook them to, and then just duct tape the crap out of it, and hopefully it holds. I'm not quite as concerned with the waterproof as much as just the ability to carry weight. I can dry things off. All right, so I got this strap coming here and tied to this one. I've got this strap under here. I'm pulling it back to the front of the pack. And so that gives it some additional support to where it won't tear anymore. And then I'm just gonna duct tape the shit out of it. Well, what do we think? This is the beginning. Quite a rig job here, but I think it's gonna get me at least to my campsite. I might throw a little bit more tape on before I go, but I've lightened it up. Got just the larger things that can't fall out as easily that are waterproof, and put everything else in my other pack. So here goes nothing. Ooh, definitely carries a little weird just being shorter, but it's lighter at least. So all right, dudes, let's do this. This is how I know how old this route is and how unused it is. This should be the end of the portage, but instead it's just a little dried up pond and a blown out beaver dam, an absolutely massive one, but give you some perspective of how much water these beaver dams hold back. I should be paddling right now the rest of the way. Instead, I'm going to be walking around this thing. I mean, this beaver dam is easily 10 feet tall. There's still a few fish splashing around in here, but it's been gone a long time. You can tell by the grass growing up over it. So anyway, I guess I'm walking. There's really no reason to sugarcoat it. That portage just sucked. Beaver, you in there? There's a hole in your dam back there. Would have made it a whole lot easier if you fix that hole. There it is. Home sweet home. Got this whole lake to myself, and I definitely earned it. This is a beautiful lake, just island studded and just snakes around forever. Super impressed so far. We'll see how the campsite is. More dinner. All right, I can confirm that I can live off fish on this lake. That's number 2. Only need one and let him go. But the key is I know where to come back to. So kind of just like figuring out where the grocery store is for now. Tuesday morning. Still out in the middle of nowhere, probably about as deep out as you can get at this point. I was planning on staying here a full day just because it took me so long to get here and explore the lake a little more. But after fishing last night, caught a couple walleye, got dinner. I think there's a lot of potential here, but I'm just not super sold on the lake. I was really hoping it might be a little bit more show itself a little more. You know, the last lake I was on, which is also a banger lake, wasn't as good either in the evening, so I'll give it grace on that. That said, I've got quite a ways to go still on my intended route, so I'm kind of thinking I'm just gonna fish my way out of here and then get back on these nasty lost portages. Big pile of wolf scat right on the portage. One thing I've noticed, there's definitely a lot of wolves in these primitive management areas. I see sign everywhere. I haven't actually seen them, but I've heard them howl, and they're definitely here without question. I see bones and hair and all sorts of stuff, but I've also noticed there's like these height of lands where it's just like all granite and it's easier travel. And I think they use these like highways because it just never fails. It seems like every time I come up on one of these, and these are different places, I always find some sort of wolf sign, or a lot of times I do. So another just random unorthodox portage, but we're making it through. I'm getting real Quetico vibes right now through this section. I don't know. Just if you want a Quetico experience but you don't want to cross the border, I got a route for you. Alright, so there are two ways out of this lake. One would be two shorter portages with a little bit of creek travel, which I don't trust any of the creeks these days. So that's plan B, I would say. Actually, there's three portages there and a bunch of creek and swamp, so not leaning towards that. The other one is just one big long one, around 200 rods or so, which is about what I did early on that last long one. So as long as it's in decent shape like the last one, I think no problems. But this will get me out of the primitive management area and back in the boundary waters proper. Alright, this one's gonna get interesting for sure. I found a cairn here, but it just doesn't look like it's been used at all. I do see a path. I only walked back about 15 feet, but I'm just gonna send it. I'm just 30 feet in and this portage just disappears. So might have to take the other route. Alright, I'm in a bit of a dilemma. So the port I was planning on taking was over there, and it was really clear. There's cairns, really obvious start, but I think just beavers were using it. There's a beaver hut over there, and I think they're just dragging in and out and using it so much that it made it look like an entry. There's definitely a trail there at one point in time, but it's gone. Like, I go 30 feet in and it's just gone every way I tried. So I'm over here on the other side. I'm gonna go the three portage way, but here I don't even see an obvious way, an obvious first portage. So I know people get back here. It's got to be back here, but I don't know. This is a little concerning. Man, I'm stumped. I just don't see anything over here that looks like a way through. The other side looked way more promising. It just doesn't make any sense, because you got to get back here somehow. All right. I've been probably working on this for an hour, losing a ton of time, but I'm back over to my original spot, and I find some old cairns and old trails and just been crisscrossing, and I got the trail. Only made it about a quarter of the way in, just kind of testing it, but I think I can make it, and so I'm just gonna grab my pack and see if I can send it. And every time I think I'm getting to easier ground, it gets tougher and tougher. I'm making my way. So when I was out here bushwhacking, I found a pretty amazing discovery. Check it out. Big old nice one. Oh, I'd love to take that home with me. Obviously you can't take stuff out of here, but I'm gonna leave it on this nasty trail for someone to find probably years from now. That is a sight I've been thinking about for a couple hours now. Oh, wow, look at this big old awesome chunk of stone to walk out on. This is beautiful. All right, friends, we have escaped that death trap. Except I gotta go get the canoe. Oh, and that canoe is gonna be tough to get through that crap. Hello, here I am. Made it out of the PMA. So that was an adventure. Super glad I did it, but was really not enjoying myself too much at certain times today and yesterday. So yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes when you take super tough routes. You just never know what you're gonna get for sure. But yeah, you probably noticed something weird behind me. Pretty clear with this grate behind me that I am back in the boundary waters proper. And so I will be traveling the border route, or my plan is to travel the border route tomorrow, get up into Iron Lake and Crooked Lake. And the only problem with that is the way I ended up going is I've got a 300 rod portage, like a 70, a 90, another 70 right off the bat tomorrow to leave this lake and get into Iron Lake. So I'm really not giving myself any breaks when it comes to portages, but at least I know these are going to be maintained, and you know, outside of distance should be pretty straightforward. So glad to be back at camp. Got a pretty good view, and really enjoying Stewart Lake. Already caught a few walleye, so it's been fun. Perfect little eater size. Oh, I've eaten fish tacos 2 days in a row. I probably need to give my stomach a break, but I also never know when I'm gonna have another fish dinner, so I'm gonna let them go. Alright, off early. It's about 7 a.m. and I'm going to try to do a double route to make up for a little bit of time today, because once I get through this multiple long portages this morning, it's going to be mainly just pattern. So just kind of got to grit my teeth and get through another rough morning, and then should be pretty smooth sailing and a lot of territory I'm familiar with. Great fishing as well, so glad to be out again. Sand beach landings. Man, Boundary Waters feels like a 5-star resort compared to where I've been the last few days. This is gonna be nice. I'm not even that concerned about a mile portage, so all right, so this one is 293 rods, so just shy of a mile. And of course I get to do it 3 times since I'm double portaging, so I'm gonna get 3 miles in to get the blood pumping this morning. So this is day 5. I'm kind of working my way through the wilderness, and I was thinking about it today. A, I can't believe I've been out here 5 days. It's gone really quick. But B, I haven't seen a person since day 1 up until I got back in the Boundary Waters yesterday. And day 1 was the last person I actually talked to, last time I talked to a person. So I gotta admit, I'm still fine with that. I don't really miss talking to people that much outside of my wife and my kids. I'd say maybe after a couple weeks out here, I would crave that, but I kind of like the solitude, and it's kind of nice to be quiet and, you know, spend a little time being introspective instead of constantly just chit-chatting. kind of fur is that? This portage is gorgeous. Even though it's long, it's pretty flat and easy and well taken care of. It's really, after the last few days, it's a real pleasure just to walk on a nice path and be able to enjoy the views and not just be trying to wayfind the whole time and figure out where the heck you're at. So 3 miles is done. It took me about an hour and 10 minutes to knock that one out. So I'd do that one over and over again before what I bushwhacked through over the last few days, but it's definitely all of close to a mile, and I can feel it. So got about 3 miles under my belt, but rather tackle it now than tackle it at the end of the day. Made it to Iron Lake. First time I've made it in this route. Been in about every other possible way you can get into this lake, but first time, so kind of fun. I've got about 7 miles of paddling and one more portage to get to my intended spot today, up on Crooked Lake. So I'm just gonna fish my way through Iron and Crooked. These are both fantastic fishing lakes. Big fish live here, all species. And we're right on the Canadian border, so these border lakes are phenomenal. If you've never been up here, then this is definitely a place you need to come. Sitting up here thinking about this portage. I mean, the amount of history along this route, the border route, it's just got to be incredible. The portage is so nice. Outside of the obviously beautiful Curtain Falls, there's just giant old growth red pines, and I mean, it's just like a parkway because it's been used for hundreds of years, from Native American people to fur traders to and then just recreational people like yourselves. So it feels cool to be in such a historic place in a canoe country. Really difficult to get a sense of scale on Crooked Lake because it's just so massive. And crooked is the right word because it is very confusing. It wants to throw you off in the wrong direction just with all the islands and the angles, but you know, when I'm going into Sunday Bay right now, and when one of these bays is bigger than any of the lakes you've been on all week, it just really messes with your head a little bit. Ooh. Stay button, baby. Stay button. I just want to see you, then you can spit it. Holy cow. This is a big one. I don't even know what to do with this guy. Got him hooked right in the corner of the mouth, so got that going for me. Not that that means much. Almost got him. Iced him. Yeah. Oh, barely hooked. There you go. It's a mid-30s probably. Whew. Needed one of those. Last time I visited these Pictographs, the water was all the way up to them, so I couldn't really see them. It's crazy how they're right at waterline, and now I'm right there, but I can actually see quite a few more. Get a little closer look and obviously be respectful, but I can actually feel like last time it's hard to tell what they were, but now I feel like I can see a little bit more. And you can see over here, there's like a little table, like an erratic table, kind of like table rock further down on the basswood. And I wonder if this is a place where they would come and visit and, you know, stay for a while. It's so cool. I never noticed the table rock there. It's usually underwater. Shower's done, laundry's done. Well, I'm in paradise. Sunday Bay, Crooked Lake, 5-star site. Only campsite in the whole bay. This bay is larger than, I don't know, larger than most lakes in the Boundary Waters. So I am cleaned up a little bit, and I'm probably just gonna let my back rest for a little bit and then hopefully catch a walleye for dinner. So it's one of the best fishing lakes in all of the Boundary Waters, so I'm pretty confident that I can pull something off. Gotta be a small, oh, nice walleye. Oh yeah. Oh. There you go. Whoa. There's one. It's almost too big to keep for one person. Hate to do that, but I also need sustenance. So I'm gonna put him on the stringer for now. Beauty. All right, on the road again. A little bit of a late start, but that's okay. Needed to get some sleep. I'm gonna be traveling across Crooked Lake. I'm leaving Sunday Bay. I'm running through a channel that connects to Saturday Bay. Saturday Bay is another awesome fishing spot. I was here in 2019 and fishing was outstanding. Actually, about 5 years ago to the day right now. In September last time, but anyway, there's a cool site there with the beach where we stayed last time. I was gonna try to stay there this time as well. but wanted to try a different site. Great site that I stayed at last night, 5-star. No complaints, and the fishing was great right out in front of me. So I got a headwind today, which I wasn't expecting that. So that might be a little bit of a drag on my trip today. But anyway, I just got to get through Saturday Bay and then into Friday Bay, which is another massive bay like Sunday Bay. And then I will be heading south to the first portage. So a lot of paddling today, which is going to be really nice. Entering Papoose Creek, just got off of Friday Bay, Crooked Lake. So I've got some creek travel and kind of some boggy stuff. I don't have a whole lot further to go for the day, so I'm kind of just taking my time and enjoying it. This is my first creek travel since the Sterling Creek saga. So it's been a couple days, but this creek's a lot bigger and more enjoyable so far. So plenty of water, beavers have been doing their job, and should be pretty smooth sailing from here. Looking a little low over here, so hoping we don't get into anything too nasty. I'm on Nicky Lake right now, just got out of Papoose Creek. This little spot's special to me because it's the first place I heard a wolf howl. I was coming out here again 5 years ago on this route, and it was really weird. It's like 9 in the morning, really cool morning, and I just hear this eerie howl as I'm moving down towards the creek, and I'll just never forget it. I can't really explain it. If you've ever heard a wolf howl, you just never forget it. All right, made it to Wagosh Lake. This is a destination lake, and I've been wanting to come back to this lake ever since I seen it the first time. It's a beautiful lake, very high and mountainous, and there's one side on here. Another gator. Last day of a 7-day trip in the Boundary Waters. Man, this has been a good trip. I honestly, like when I started this trip, I really did it on a whim. I really thought I was going to be up in Wyoming backpacking, and things didn't work out physically, so I pulled the trigger on this, and I'm really glad I did. It was a great trip. Saw a few new places, revisited some old places,
got seriously challenged in a few areas and had some great fishing. So really can't ask for a whole lot more than that. So I've got about a 12-mile paddle in today. I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna start it with a 3-mile, or I shouldn't say 3 miles, 329 rod portage out of this lake and into the next. Of course, I'll have to do that 3 times because I'm double portaging. So that's how I'm going to start my day. But after that, should be pretty smooth sailing, and a lot of the stuff that I've already covered, because I'm kind of looping around, and I'm going to be hitting I'm going to be going through a lot of lakes that I went through in the beginning. So I won't probably film too much of that, but I just wanted to say thanks for watching the video. Really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd be grateful if you did. I've got a lot of content out there that I think you'll enjoy if you like this video, if you made it all the way to the end. And I am planning on doing a lot more videos in the future because I just really enjoy doing it. So anyway, thank you.